The recording has stopped. This meeting is being recorded.
Hi, everyone. My name is Presley Patrick, and I am your current Miss Grand Strand. And for my CSI, I have Strength and Stories, Sharing Paths to Resilience. And for my interview this week, I have the lovely Teresa Smith, who is the Executive Director of Southern Paw. So, Teresa, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name, you said, I'm the founder and executive director of Southern Paw Partners. We're based in West Columbia, South Carolina.
Yes. All right. So let's get this interview started. So, what inspired the founding of Southern Paw Partners?
Well, I've always been an animal lover and discovered that there was a big need for funding for the animal rescues in the area. And so I had a background in sales and decided to start a nonprofit. And we basically operate a thrift store that raises the funding for the animal rescues in the area. So that's pretty much how it came about, just wanting to help animals, save many as we could.
Gotcha. So about that thrift store, tell us about Thrifty Paws Boutique and how it has raised funds for the Midland area animal rescue.
Okay. Since we started back in 2015, we've donated over $140,000 to over 38 different animal rescues. We also give to specific emergency situations. But just having people donate their merchandise to our boutique and then sell the merchandise, and the proceeds go to fund the mission of the animal of the nonprofit.
Awesome. I love the idea of doing the thrift store. I feel like that's such a great way to raise funds because it gets people involved. They're dropping off their stuff. They want to help make a difference. It's just like a full circle effect where people are dropping things off.
Sure.
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
and it gives us an opportunity to talk with people about spaying and neutering and the overpopulation problem.
Mhm.
It's truly a human problem. The animals are just doing what animals do, but if we can spay and neuter um, and get people to adopt and foster, that's really part of our mission as well to educate the public.
Absolutely. So, speaking of educating the public, how does Southern Paw Partners educate the public on animal abuse and neglect issues, and what impact have these efforts had on the community?
Well, we try to be very active on social media, but also the store allows us to in person really talk to people on a one-on-one um, level and let them know about the problems that are happening with animals in the Midlands area. Um, so that's the primary way we do it. I think it's been encouraging to me to see the interest that people have in finding ways to help animals and putting it into this sort of circle of abuse and neglect that continues to happen.
Absolutely. So, you've seen firsthand the effects that these animals have gone through. So, could you provide some examples of some severe cases of animal abuse or neglect that Southern Paw Partners has assisted with through its emergency fund?
Yeah, there are a couple of situations come to mind. There was one, it didn't end very in a happy way, but there was an animal that's probably the worst case of abuse. It was a dog um, I've ever seen or encountered. And the rescue that actually got the animal out of the situation, we donated to their rescue. Is a dog named Wendy, and it was just horrific, the abuse that dog suffered. But I think the success of is that she was taken out of the situation, and even though she didn't survive, um, she's become a poster child for ending abuse. Another emergency fund that we are getting ready to do is there was a pig. So it's not dogs and cats we help. We also help pigs and farm animals and birds, wildlife, all that kind of thing. But there was a pig named Cats that was found on the side of the road, and she was in a bad way. And a rescue took her in. So we've decided to help that rescue out with the funding for getting her back on her feet. And uh, so that's a couple of examples of how our emergency fund has helped.
Absolutely. So how does Southern Paw select qualifying animal rescues in individual cases to receive those donations?
Well, we do it like a grant process. So we take applications and then we look at each individual rescue. We check them out. So we vet them very well, and give them an opportunity to tell us what they're going to use the money for, what they need the money for, and then our board decides on who we donate to. But we tend to get to some of the same ones over because everybody's vet bills, need food for the animals. And when rescue take animals, a lot of time fostering is a huge thing that they really need for people to foster animals. And so rescue does that. They're actually providing food and vet care and all of that. So it's an ongoing, sort of a never ending need for these rescues.
Absolutely. So what challenges has Southern Paw faced since its journey started, and how have you as an organization overcome those issues?
Um, I think probably the biggest issue that we face is just with overhead of our store. Um, we rent a space, and we have really good space here in West Columbia. We're very glad to have it, but ultimately our goal is to have our own brick and mortar building so that we can have more control over those overhead costs. So I'd say that's probably the biggest. The biggest obstacle we've run into. Now, just recently with Midlands Gives, one of the things that we were asking for through that fundraising event was funding to help us get a brick and mortar store. So it's going to take a while, but we're working on it, and I think it'll be a big help in controlling the costs.
Absolutely, absolutely. So looking ahead, what are some future goals and aspirations of Southern Paw Partners?
Well, again, the brick and mortar building is probably our biggest goal. Aside from just continuing to get our message out there, if we can have a building where we have a little more space, I'd really like to do more educational events, on site. On-site fostering, or excuse me, adoption events, that kind of thing. Where we are now, we actually have a bakery inside the same building with us. So unfortunately, animals can't come in the store unless they're service animals, because of VHEC. But it would be nice to be able to have a building where we can sort of expand our missions and what we're trying to do here. So.
Absolutely. So how can us as a community support your mission to further animal rescue and welfare? What can we do to help you continue your mission?
Well, everybody just spay and neuter your animals. That's the biggest thing. Also, as far as assisting us, just bringing the quality donations so that when we sell them, we can make money to give to these rescues so they can continue doing their jobs and to the fullest. But it's just everybody working together to really try to improve the lives of animals in our community, and that's what our main goal is.
Absolutely, because I remember, so I go to school at Coastal Carolina University. I'm in Conway, and we have the biggest population of stray cats that I have ever seen. They are everywhere around our apartment, and
Yeah.
that's actually how I got my cat. Was she wandered into my apartment one day, and she just never left. And I took her to the vet, and she was actually already neutered. She was spayed. She was a Stormy.
Okay.
She was already good to go, and I just had to get her shots. And I was like, you know what? I have been dying to have a cat. I come from a big cat family. I'm currently here in Maryland at my mom's house, and we have so many cats here. And when I was at school, I was like, I really need a cat with me. And then
Uh-huh.
that just ended up, she walked right through my door. So I agree that there's a big population of animals that really just need to get spayed and neutered because it's not their fault. That's something that we need to be doing. That way we can stop this
It is.
addiction, and that we can give these animals a loving home because that's what they deserve more than anything. So I want to commend you for
Absolutely.
because that's phenomenal. I'm a big fan of animal rescue and animal welfare. So I commend you for that because that's something that I love personally. So
That's wonderful. That's
I
wonderful.
thank you very much
Yeah.
for it. So is there anything that you would like to add in before we end our interview today?
Nothing other than just thank you for including us in this promotion, and really hope to get the word out. And thank you for your belief in helping animals. That you're just helping spread the word. So that's wonderful.
Absolutely. Well, to all my viewers watching, Southern Paw Partners is a phenomenal organization in the Midlands area, right here in Columbia, which is where we are having our Miss South Carolina pageant at the end of June. So for anyone who has those extra clothing items or anything they want to drop off to help support this cause, you can follow them on Instagram. I will make sure to tag them in the videos that I post so you all can get involved with this organization as well. This is a great organization right in our home area. So if anyone would like to get interested, please come to Southern Paw Partners because they really do make a difference in the Columbia area. So that concludes our interview. Teresa, thank you so much for letting me interview you. This has been an amazing time, and I am looking forward to sharing your story with all my viewers. I'm very excited.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And it was nice talking to you.
Absolutely. And that concludes
Good
our
luck in the pageant.
Thank you. I can't wait. All right. So that concludes our interview. Goodbye, guys.